Everyone doing today? It's your boy JJ Domination, and today we are here with the Week 9 predictions. Man, oh man, can you believe that we are midway through the NFL regular season? That is crazy. For some teams, there's only 8 games remaining, maybe 9 depending on if you already had a bye week. And for some teams, man, your season is just now getting started, and you're probably looking like you're going to be a playoff team. The 49ers, we got that game right on social media. I picked San Francisco to win. They barely won, but it's a division matchup on a short week, and San Francisco took care of business. Can't really fault them for that. But let's go ahead and begin. I believe the Falcons and the Saints are on a bye week. How many games do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. Yeah, we got a good bit of games. So let's just go ahead and begin before I lose count. Texans at Jaguars. It's not in Jacksonville. It's in London. Everybody knows Jacksonville is the best team in London. I will be taking the Jaguars. Keep in mind, Jacksonville, under Gardner Minshew's first start back in Week 2, almost beat the Houston Texans in Houston. It was 13-12. It came down to a failed 2-point conversion. Who's to say on a neutral site field Jacksonville can't win this game? I think their pass rush on the interior will get after Deshaun Watson. It will be a tough game. I think both of these teams are capable of scoring in the 20s, but I will give Jacksonville the edge as they are the better team in London. And plus, crazy things happen in London. Jacksonville has so much experience playing in London that this should be a breeze for them, but maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Believe it or not, you can actually be wrong in this whole thing. So there's that. Bears at Eagles. I'm gonna have to go with the Eagles. This is a tough one. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles are coming off a big-time win against Buffalo, a win that could give them some momentum, whereas the Bears lost on a missed field goal against these LA Chargers at home. They're looking for a big-time win, and maybe Philadelphia is the team that they need to face to get that big-time win. But Philadelphia, like I said, they beat Buffalo. Maybe it's the start of a big-time run for them to try to get back in the playoff picture. We'll see. I think I'm going to give the Eagles the edge simply because they're at home and I trust their personnel on offense more than I do Chicago's. Simple as that. Colts at Steelers. This is a tough one. The Colts and the Steelers are two teams who I don't know what version of that team I'm getting week to week. The Colts haven't won in Pittsburgh since Peyton Manning was a quarterback there in like 2008. I think they've lost like the last several times. I can't even remember the number. I think 9, 10, 11 matchups or whatever in Pittsburgh. So this is a very interesting one. I don't know. This is tough. I think I'm going to go with the Colts. They are going to be missing T.Y. Hilton. However, for Pittsburgh, Benny Snell is hurt. James Conner looks like he's not going to play, and I think Jalen Samuels is also hurt. They just had to promote a practice squad running back to the roster, so that is, it's looking tough over there for Pittsburgh. I do think Indianapolis can control the ball and keep away and all that good stuff. Jets at Dolphins. Oh man, I don't know about this one either. And keep in mind, guys, I'm tired, man. I kind of just got home, but yeah, I don't care about that. But anyway, I think this is my lock of the week. I'm going to go with the Jets over the Dolphins. I know this is weird to do lock of the weeks for a division matchup. I'm pretty sure I just broke my own rule. Or actually, no, that's for upsets. You can't upset a division rival. But the Dolphins are trying to tank, and I think because of that, the Jets will win. They need to show that they're actually good, somewhat good, and I think this would be a good week to do that. And my upset of the week, I am taking Kansas City at home without Patrick Mahomes to beat the Minnesota Vikings, man. I gave this one a lot of thought. I just can't see Kansas City losing 4 consecutive home games in the NFL season, regardless of who's at quarterback. I think eventually this thing has to work. I think Kansas City does upset Minnesota here. Adam Thielen may or may not play. It's looking like he will play, but for Patrick Mahomes, it's looking like he won't play. They activated Chad Henne to be the backup quarterback off of IR. Matt Moore's been named the starter. I think they can get it done. The way that they played against Green Bay, I honestly feel like if they come out and play the same way, they could beat Minnesota. And this isn't even me saying that as a Green Bay Packer fan. Just simply put, the way that they came out and played, I think they can do the exact same thing and beat the Vikings. Titans at Panthers. The Panthers are coming off an embarrassing loss. The Titans, pretty good defense, but you know, they're looking for, I think, their third straight win with Ryan Tannehill. I'm going to have to go with the Panthers at home. This is another tough one. I think Carolina won't get embarrassed again. I think they'll be able to take care of business at home in a low-scoring game. Probably like a 17-13 matchup. I think they'll take care of business. Redskins at Bills. I'm going to have to go with the Buffalo Bills here. Embarrassed against Philadelphia last week. And I actually think Washington defensively is a good matchup against the Buffalo Bills offense because they're not really a vertical team. They're trying to run, and Washington's defensive line is pretty physical. However, I do think Josh Allen will have to open up the vertical passing game a little bit. I think the coaches have to put it in his hands. Hey, he's going to have to make something happen. That's just the way I look at it. So I hope they take care of business there. Buccaneers at Seahawks. I think I'm going to give the edge here to Seattle. Tampa Bay is one of those teams who you just don't know with them on a week-to-week basis. I think this would be a game where like Bruce Arians gets something cooking. Maybe they do get into a shootout with Seattle. And Josh Gordon is actually on the Seahawks now. He was claimed off waivers. Won't be playing in this game. He'll most likely make his debut with Seattle next week. But it's just something to keep in mind here. Very interesting. This game could be better than expected. Lions at Raiders. Detroit coming off a win against the New York Football Giants, but they now have the league's worst passing defense in terms of yards allowed. And I think that creates a recipe for Derek Carr and John Gruden and Darren Waller and Josh Jacobs and Tyrell Williams to open things up in the passing game and even on the ground a little bit. I mean, Detroit is a very confusing defense. They have the talent, they have the personnel, and Matt Patricia, what the hell, bro? Is this the 2017 Patriots defense you're bringing? Because you sure as hell don't look like Bill Belichick's defense right about now. Let's just keep it a buck. I am going to give Oakland the edge here, though. I think they will have enough to beat Detroit. I don't know about their defense, but I know offensively they can stay in a shootout with Detroit. Packers at Chargers. Come on, I'm not picking against my Packers, okay? Alright, I'm not picking against my Packers. This thing was starting to freeze up. I'm not picking against Green Bay. But I will say this about the Chargers. I think that win over the Bears may have been the start of something for them. They tend to go on this mid-season, later in November type of run. They're a team that's very capable. They're still banged up in the secondary a little bit. And I feel like as long as Green Bay can just keep things in front of them, and defensively they're going to have to bring it. No more conservative game calling, game planning, play calling bullshit. You're going to have to go full on when it comes to Phillip Rivers and company. Browns at Broncos. This should have been my lock of the week, but I am going to go with Cleveland. Denver's Joe Flacco, the quarterback for Denver. He is on IR. His season's over. Drew Lock, I think, has another week before he can come off of IR. Brett Rippon, their other rookie, has been designated to the 53-man roster. And the starting quarterback is going to be Brandon Allen. I think Cleveland, this is a must-win game for them because if they lose to Denver, you really think they're going to make the playoffs? They'll have 7 losses. And you're asking a lot out of Cleveland, who has beat themselves last week. Like, they're going to have to get it done here against Denver with a third-string quarterback. The main event, the co-main event, I guess. Patriots at Ravens. This is probably the toughest game for me to predict. My heart says Baltimore because, man, I've stuck by Baltimore all year regardless. I mean, I picked them at the beginning of the year to win the NFC or the AFC North when people were picking Pittsburgh and Cleveland. It's still possible for those teams. But everybody was like, oh, you're crazy for picking the Ravens. You got too much faith in that running back playing quarterback, Lamar Jackson. Ugh. No, I stuck with my guns. And so far, it's looking pretty good for Baltimore. I don't know. They have a lot of things working in their favor, but I don't think it's going to matter when you're facing the big bad wolf, Bill Belichick, and his 11 henchmen on defense. I just don't think it matters. I don't think it matters, man. You know, Baltimore, they do a lot of things well, and I think they're built to beat New England. I just can't quite see it. I can't quite go in that direction. And Cowboys at Giants, I mean, the Giants might come out and punch Dallas in the mouth, but I do think eventually Dallas will regain control, and they'll put the New York Giants away. So these are my predictions, man. Let me just go back through. I got the Jacksonville Jaguars winning in London. I have the Philadelphia Eagles taking care of business at home. I have the Indianapolis Colts going into Pittsburgh, getting a big-time win. I have the New York Jets starting to find themselves as they play the tanking Dolphins. My upset of the week, I have Kansas City beating the Minnesota Vikings at home. I have Carolina taking care of business at home. I also have the Buffalo Bills taking care of business at home. I have the Seattle Seahawks taking care of business at home. I have the Oakland Raiders taking care of business at home. I have the Green Bay Packers going on the road beating those LA Chargers. I have the Cleveland Browns winning on the road against those Denver Broncos. I have the New England Patriots going on the road beating those Baltimore Ravens. And I have the Dallas Cowboys beating those New York Football Giants. So hopefully you guys enjoy your week 9 in the NFL. If your team's on a bye, just take time out of your day to watch what the rest of the league is doing. I mean, you'll learn something new watching these teams that you probably don't watch on a regular basis. Trust me, you will. Hopefully you guys enjoy, man. Peace out.